I'm going away to leave you. I'm gonna leave you in disgrace. I got the wind in my favor, I got the rain in my face.
And Green Vision is an organisation that puts on events for young people about issues that matter to them. What's unique about Green Vision is that it's, the events we put on are designed, organised and led by young people, for young people.
So in the past, the Youth Climate Summit, as Helen quite rightly said, brings about a lot of energy with a lot of young people in a lot of different schools. And essentially, it produces lots of different projects around the local area to support change concerning sustainability. So in the past, we've had inspirational speakers from around the world come here to talk to you and the people before you all about the different things that they're doing. So it's very much based on activism and based on what different change we can make as young people. So
I suppose that what I was thinking to myself that I wanted to say to you is that there is a place for everybody. And there is nobody who is not needed at this time.
So my talk is called Why Climate Change Could Be the Best Thing That Ever Happened.
We're trying to increase the numbers of people cycling whilst also trying to stop them dying. That's the goal.
People, you may have desires for your buildings and your schools that are very different from those from the teachers.
So it's about £2 million. And we looked at the brief and looked at the resources and said, well, actually, you don't need to build a building as big as that.
Because every year, human beings kill approximately, if you guys would like to stand, 270 million sharks.
I really liked the speeches, especially today's. I thought the shark finning was good to see how they progressed on from last year, because we signed a petition and it's good to see that that's carrying on going.
The Greenpeace talk we had this morning was really interesting because we found out sort of what we could do to help turn climate change into a better thing for especially our country, and how the weather that we have actually could be really useful.
So we're going to be learning some new skills about bike maintenance, and maybe that will help you one day get on a bike, maybe.
La 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 la. Over to you. We don't care for the polar bear. Is this really fair? Their homes are crumbling and the ice is tumbling. We should care for the polar bear. The silly human race. We need to slap their face. Animals are dying, their young are crying. This is such a disgrace.
We're hopefully going to build this picture of what a sustainable food system might look like.
There might be loads of queued up vehicles here, queued up cars, buses there. I'm just trying to get up here.
Go around to supermarkets and stuff, and they collect food that would otherwise be thrown out. For example, faulty barcodes or the package is damaged.
Obviously at the school we feed a lot of people, so I'm used to seeing a lot of food, but when we went there and it was just a massive amount of food that it's just being thrown away, it's crazy.
Oh, it's going really well. So it's a lot more organised than last year. We've used all of the rooms and all of the space. So, yeah.
It's really good. I mean, so far I've done a jewellery making workshop where we've taken discarded can tops and made jewellery from that, and that was really interesting, interactive. I think the more interactive it is, the better, and this year is really interactive. And coming up next we've got a rhythm workshop, which I'm really excited for.
279 million sharks are getting finned every year, and without sharks, the ocean ecosystem, they can collapse, but not much has been done by really the big people or the politicians. They've not really done anything against that.
The Green Party come at this from an entirely different perspective that says that we have to think about it from a human and an environmental perspective rather than a market perspective. And if you start to think about things from that perspective, you make very different decisions, and that could be about energy policy, could be about shark fins, could be about farming, could be about housing.
Marine conservation is a big area of interest for me.
Unsurprisingly, as you'd expect, the Lib Dems are absolutely against finning. I certainly wouldn't ever advocate anyone having the right to kill sharks and take their fins.
You claim to be in favour of all these new greener policies, yet the Conservative government persistently supports and subsidises the oil industry, invests in North Sea oil, and has done quite a lot in terms of going the other direction. So what is there to show that your policies and what you're saying now is anything more than superficial nonsense aimed to please people rather than actually to enact proper change?
Yeah, I have to admit, there are some people in the Conservative Party who are pretty much headbangers on this subject. I'm not a headbanger. I do know that climate change is happening. The scientific evidence does show that as well. And, nature of the beast in the Broadchurch Party, we will all have different people in the party saying different things, okay?
If your party were to get in government in May 2015, what specific legislation will you be pushing to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels such as oil or fracking?
The fact that fracking will now no longer take place near water sources or nor in national parks is actually thanks to a Labour amendment.
How does the recent conflict in Ukraine affect your policy of complete nuclear disarmament?
So just think about it. If you're running a nation in the world that has nuclear weapons, and you're possibly open to the idea of letting those weapons go, if the rest of the world says to you, don't worry, we'll protect you if you do, are you going to believe them? Are you going to take them seriously?
I was just talking with the Liberal Democrat candidate a moment ago. It was quite inspiring, actually, because he really was very passionate about the environment and the ambitious targets that he was setting. I think it was carbon neutral Britain by 2050 or something, which is very ambitious, but I think it's important to be.
The Creative competition was a design and build competition where the participants were invited to take a pallet or several pallets. So these are the sort of rectangular things that get put on the floor and things are stacked up on them for shipping goods around the world. And they were challenged to upcycle that pallet into something useful and more beautiful than previously.
I've been around and looked at all of the entries, and it's fantastic. I was completely blown away and surprised by what I saw.
And so now we have the overall winner, which is the Bird Table and Hedgehog Home.
And then you obviously had to do each section individually. So we started with the birdhouse on the top. This was like the main part, 'cause this is what people see first. You know, you look at the top, and this is what the birds are going to see when they're flying.
I've been a part of organising this summit for the last 2 years, and I just think this is a really important event for young people, because obviously the environment and the world we live in matters to all of us. It's something that affects all of us, and damage to that will affect all of our lives, directly or indirectly. And I think that because us young people are the leaders of tomorrow, we need to start now to understand the issues that are in place so that we can start to think of a way to fix them, because there's no age limit on creativity, and actually sometimes I think the best solutions come from the youngest people because they're not stuck in their ways yet. They can be new and they can be innovative, and that's what we're trying to promote here, and we're trying to just get people together to A, learn about important issues, but B, just have a good time while they do it and understand that it doesn't have to be boring, it doesn't have to be stressful, it can just be something to do together, a collective activity for everyone to enjoy to make a positive change.
Sow the seed, it will be one more tree to grace the earth.
Wangari, Wangari, move forward, help them out. Sow the seed, it will be, move forward. One more tree to grace the earth. Wangari, Wangari.